Hello, everybody. This is JT Productions, and welcome back to another 2023 preview and prediction video. Today, I'll be doing the Indiana Hoosiers, so let's get into it. Last season, Indiana had a porous record of 4-8, only winning 2 Big Ten games against Michigan State and Illinois, which that Illinois game was pretty interesting. Their other wins were against Idaho of 35-22 and in overtime against Western Kentucky. They did not have a good year with Tom Allen's, I think, third year. Tom Allen just hasn't been the guy so far. In 2020, he had a pretty good year, beating Penn State and almost beating Ohio State. But in 2021, 2022, he just has not lived up to it. So I would not be surprised if he has another bad year like last year, that he could be out of there. So, well, let's see if we can't save his hide. So let's look at what he's working with. Well, at quarterback for this team, Taven Jackson, a redshirt freshman transfer from Tennessee. So who knows? He could come in and play well for him. You also have Brendan Sorsby, who's a redshirt freshman who's been waiting in the wings, and also Blaze McKibben, a junior transfer from a community college. All in all, the quarterbacks, I don't have much that I know about them. Taven Jackson, he was at Tennessee, didn't see much playing time that I remember. So, I don't know. You also have Josh Henderson, a senior tailback. You have Jalen Lucas, who's sophomore. And you have Christian Turner, a redshirt senior transfer running back from Wake Forest and Michigan. I don't know. I don't know much about the running backs. I know Josh Henderson, he's been there for a little bit. At wide receiver, Cam Camper, he came in from JUCO. He was pretty good last year. You also have E.J. Williams, senior transfer from Clemson. He was decent at Clemson. And then DeQuise Carter coming in from Fordham. We'll see if he can't help him out. Donovan McCulley, and some of the others at tight end. Bradley Archer, redshirt senior transfer from Stanford's coming in. And the offensive line is just a mix of older and younger talent. The youngest guy is a redshirt freshman, Carter Smith, at left tackle. That's going to be an interesting thing to look at for Indiana. The rest are juniors or older, so that's a good thing for that part of the offensive line. So we'll just have to see how the offense performs. Last year it was not the best, which, to be fair, the team wasn't the best. But on defense, Tom Allen has brought in a bunch of transfers. One in particular, Andre Carter, coming in from Western Michigan to play at the defensive end spot. You also have Philip Bildy coming in at D-tackle from Texas Tech. Also, you have Trey Lang coming in from Southern. And then also you have, this is all just on the defensive line, Marcus Burris coming in from Texas A&M. On the D-line, you got a lot of talent coming in. You also have Robbie Harrison, who's coming in from Arizona State. This could be a very improved defense for Mr. Tom Allen, but Jacob Magnum-Farah, middle linebacker from Stanford. You have Lanell Carr from West Virginia. You have Anthony Jones coming in from Oregon. You have Daryl Minor coming in from UTEP. And the last linebacker coming in is Joshua Rudolph coming in from Austin Peay. And then to the secondary, there are 4 transfers in the secondary. Nick Toomer coming in from Stanford. A bunch of Stanford transfers, it seems. And then Tyreek McDaniel coming in from JUCO. And the other 2 as well, Kobe Minor coming in from Texas Tech. And finally, Jamison Kelly, senior transfer coming in from JUCO as well. So Tom Allen doing a bunch of things to help bring in defensive talent at least, but who knows if that's going to help them or not. So let's just go ahead and go into the schedule. Well, to start the season, you don't get any handouts because you play at home against Ohio State. Now, Ohio State loses C.J. Stroud, but they have two quarterbacks that are both 4 or 5 stars, Devin Brown and, what's his name? The other guy. I forget his name. I'll think of it in a little bit, but they still have Travion Henderson. They still have Marvin Harrison Jr. They still have a bunch of guys on defense. So I just think Ohio State's going to blow you out of the water. Week 1, they're going to blow you out of the water. So you start out 0-1, then you play Indiana State, where you get a much-needed break in between 2 tough games, and you get a win against Indiana State. Then you play in Indianapolis in Lucas Oil Stadium against Louisville. Now, Louisville, over the past couple of years, has been a middle-of-the-pack ACC team. But now with Jeff Brom coming over from Purdue, I expect them to be improved scheme-wise. And I think that they beat you in Indianapolis. I think you go 1-2 before coming back home to play Akron. I think you're able to beat Akron, so we're not even going to spend any time on that. 2-2 before going on the road to Maryland. Now, Maryland, their offense is going to be too much for you. Tua Tagovailoa is one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten. So I think you drop this one going into your bye week at 2-3. Then you go on the road to Ann Arbor to take on Michigan. Michigan's just going to be too physical for you, and I think that you drop that one as well to go to 2-4. Then you play Rutgers. Now, Rutgers is going to be similar in talent to you. I think that Rutgers, though, is better coached with Greg Schiano, and I think that they beat you on homecoming for you to go 2-5. Then you go on the road to Penn State. Another tough game to play. I think you drop this one as well. And you're 2-6. Then you play Wisconsin. I think you drop that one as well. I'm just going to speed through these. Wisconsin, Illinois. You're going to drop both those. Now, these 2 games are winnable games at the end of the year. You play Michigan State at home, and you play at Purdue. Now, you could say, I think you're going 1-1 in the stretch, but you could sway me whichever way. I think you lose to Michigan State, but I think you beat Purdue to finish the season 3-9. Now, I don't think that Tom Allen's going to survive this, and I think that he's going to get fired. Or they could be like Northwestern and just keep him around for 15 years. But I think that you are not going to have that good of a season. So anyways, 3-9 record for Indiana. Not a good season, but there's always next year. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Go Dogs.